Inscrit.
Hello, everybody. It's Jeff Keighley, and welcome to this special Xbox game showcase and our pre-show here, leading up to the big main showcase that happens in 1 hour at the top of the next hour. Welcome to YouTube Gaming and our exclusive coverage. This obviously is a different year for all of us in 2020, and normally every year I love getting together with everyone around the world to watch all the E3 events, but this year, of course, given where the world's at, we're doing things virtually. Before we get into this, I certainly want to acknowledge everything that is still happening around the world with the COVID pandemic, and certainly hope everyone is safe and feeling okay today and excited about video games, which I think have been a source of comfort for many of us in 2020. So today is really about celebrating games and the future of games and where games are going in the future. You know, this is still a big year for games and that new consoles are launching. And today is all about Xbox and the Xbox Series X, which is coming out this holiday season. Although today is less about hardware, it is going to be more about the games. And in our pre-show, we've got a lot of great guests joining us to preview what we expect from Xbox. And we also have some world premieres and some great new game stuff to show you guys as well. The Xbox story for Series X, of course, started last year at the Game Awards when we revealed the Xbox Series X hardware on stage. I certainly miss memories of thousands of people together and the excitement of shocking the world with that announcement last year. That was such a special moment that no one had any clue it was about to happen, and we revealed the hardware there. But of course, everyone wants to know about the games that are going to run on the system, and today is all about a game that was sort of mentioned in that teaser, Halo Infinite. We are going to get a first look at the gameplay of the campaign of Halo Infinite in the Xbox Game Showcase. That's something that we're all very excited to see. I'm sure we'll be talking about that a lot over the next hour. And Xbox has already said we're not going to hear a lot about hardware today. We don't expect to hear the release date for Series X. We don't expect to hear about pricing. It really is going to be a showcase all about games and focused a lot more on their first-party studios, meaning games that are coming exclusively to the Xbox ecosystem, which of course includes Game Pass and PC and even xCloud. There's a lot to talk about kind of what Xbox is doing with gaming and their approach. So we've got some world premieres for you, and we've got a lot of guests. So let's get ready for the countdown here. 58 minutes away from the show. Before we get to our first world premiere, though, I want to welcome some panelists to talk about what we're expecting today from Xbox. So first up, joining me is my good buddy, Jack Septic Eye. Jack, welcome to the show.
Hi, it's good to be here. Thankfully, it's
great
a
to have
reasonable
you here
hour.
Early in the morning in Los Angeles. We've also got Lauren Side here. Lauren, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Good to see you as well. And finally, we've got a guy who got to go up to Microsoft and check out the Xbox Series X hardware before lockdown. Austin Evans. Austin, good to have you with us, man.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, great to have all you guys here. So let's kick things off here by talking about what you want to see from Xbox today. You know, they had an event back in May that people wanted to see even more from. They wanted to see, you know, more gameplay, more games. They wanted to see Halo. They're going to deliver that today. What are your expectations as fans of games? What do you want to see at the top of the hour from Xbox? Let's start with you, Jack.
Well, I mean, the big elephant in the room, the big chief elephant in the room is everyone just wants to see Halo Infinite. And I'm really curious because I'm not the biggest Halo fan, but even this one has kind of gotten me intrigued and excited. So I'm curious to see about that. I want to see more Hellblade 2 if we're going to get some of that, because when we saw that trailer at the Game Awards and we were sitting in that theater and that music kicked in and rocked everyone's socks, I was really impressed with that and seeing what the hardware could kind of do in engine there. I'm a sucker for FromSoft games. my heart's going to be broken when we don't see Elden Ring today, but it's been so long since it was announced. I need to see it somewhere and see that it still exists. And as long as I get a good world premiere, I'll be happy.
Oh, wait, wait. We got the world premiere voice guy actually doing the voice here when we come to our first world premiere. So
it's Christmas.
I'm here to take care of you. But yes, as you said, everyone would love to see Elden Ring. Everyone would love to see new game announcements too. You mentioned Halo. Lauren, is that the big thing for you? Like seeing Halo? What are you excited to see?
No. So I feel like Halo was like my first introduction into like first person shooter games and why I should not play them because I'm horrible at them. But that was like my first, it holds a special place in my heart because like that was the first time realizing I was terrible at them. I'm really excited. I'm big into like psychological horror games. So the medium, I really, really want to see more about. I want to see gameplay. They haven't told us a whole lot about it, but I'm living for it. Like the Silent Hill music, everything, and Everwild is the other one I'm really interested for, like to see more about because both of those are kind of a mystery. I haven't seen much on them.
Oh, that's great because as you said, there are lots of other games across the studios. Everwild that they teased last year at EXO from Rare looked really interesting. I agree. Hopefully, we'll get to see something on that. Tim Schafer's got Psychonauts that, they acquired that studio. Hopefully there'll be an update on that one. And they said Microsoft's got so many studios, so many games across the portfolio that I think we'll get hopefully some new game announcements and also some updates on those existing ones. Austin, you are one of the few people I think in the world that got to check out Series X. I remember you did you got to check out Gears, how that was looking on the hardware and everything like that. So you have a really interesting perspective on this. What do you want to see at Xbox today?
So, I mean, I love the nerdy details, right? I want to see the 120 FPS and the HDR and all the ray tracing. I'm really interested in seeing kind of like what this next generation is able to do as far as pushing the envelope forward, right? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I'm going to be all over Halo. I really want to see what they're able to do, especially considering that that's going to be a game that will be on Xbox One and sort of assuming PC and Series X and kind of seeing how they're able to stretch that. And I'm definitely a huge fan of the Forza franchise, right? I mean, that's sort of been really, you look back at the Xbox One generation for me, I have definitely spent more time playing for the Forza games as well as the Horizon games more than anything else, right? So that's definitely has like a special place in my heart from the gaming side. But what I'm really curious about is getting a really good look at kind of what this new slate of titles look like, right? I mean, obviously we know that there are a bunch of games that are coming out sort of holiday season. I'm assuming we're probably going to see some games kind of teased for the next maybe year or two or whatever the case is. But I really want to see a good sense of what the Xbox Series X is capable of, right? I've seen little bits and pieces. I got to try a couple of tech demos. I know the specs. I know all the kind of the basic stuff. But what I really want to do is kind of see how all of that comes together and brings what this next generation is all about.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. It's, they keep saying how powerful this console is. Like we want to see that power, right? And see what this is able to do. And Microsoft's philosophy on Xbox that Phil Spencer has expressed is, a little bit different than PlayStation. That they're saying that all these games are going to show you today conceivably will still work on your current Xbox, will work on PC, and they might, they work better on the new Xbox. But I'm curious for you guys, how does that affect your sort of decision on what you're going to do with Xbox? Like what's going to cause you to want to upgrade to the next system? Because it's different. That Halo, as you said, will work probably on, if you have an Xbox right now, it'll work on the current system. So I assume part of what they have to show today is why it's going to be even better on the next one.
Yeah,
I
think for
definitely what I expect.
Yeah, I think for me, what I like most about the Xbox that kind of sits in my house is like we always get Sony with their exclusives, and I would love to see some really cool exclusives come out of Microsoft today. It's the thing that people keep talking about all the time. But I love the kind of home entertainment aspect of my Xbox. I love the kind of UI and the speed of the system and kind of sitting down. I use it for everything. I only use my PlayStation for gaming, but I really use my Xbox for almost everything. I watch Netflix on it. I watch movies, and I play my 4K Blu-rays and everything on it because my PlayStation couldn't do that. So I'm really curious to see how they evolve kind of the OS of the system and make it snappier and faster, and how you're able to switch between games on the fly and being able to have all of those old games be playable on the new one. They keep talking about backwards compatibility a lot and how that's a big factor for them. And I'm curious to see how far that goes and how many games you can really play with that and how far they're pushing it and stuff like Game Pass has come out, and it's kind of a game changer because there's so many times when I just go on and I don't want to buy a new game, but Game Pass is a good way of kind of trying it out and testing it and just downloading it there and playing straight away. And I really love that aspect. So I want to see how far they push that. And xCloud, I think, is what their trump card will be this time, at least for me personally, the way I consume the media on my Xbox.
Yeah, no, I think that, as you said, the Game Pass is another big part of it, that, you know, a lot of these games now come out as part of Game Pass. I think Microsoft has said kind of all their first party titles are in Game Pass, and that I think lets people sample more games, right? It's no longer like you have to spend $60 to play everything. Austin, I wanted to ask you about the specs and the, you know, the frame rates and all that type of stuff. You know, you live in the world of tech and, you know, RDNA architectures and whatnot. Like, what do you think? What does that all mean to the gamers? Like, how do you think the games are going to be different, or what are the things we should look for here in you know, ray tracing and things like that? Like, what do you think are going to be some of the big leaps that we're going to see in some of these games, hopefully today?
So I think the interesting way of looking at sort of the previous generation, sort of Xbox One, PS4, going into this new generation, is that it's a much more well-rounded package, right? So you look at something like the Xbox Series X, spec-wise, it is equivalent to a very high-end gaming PC. That's not something we've seen in the console space for a long time, right? You look at the Xbox One, it had good graphics, right? It was able to provide some really impressive games. You look at something like Red Dead 2 running on an original Xbox One. It's really impressive that that was able to be sort of accomplished. But the thing is, this generation with the Series X, we have not only the SSD, which I think people are going to very quickly get used to, not minute load times, but, you know, a few second load times, but also you have that really powerful CPU, which is going to enable these bigger open world
the games we know about, like the Medium and Everwild. Anything that you're secretly hoping they show here in some way?
You know, I was looking yesterday to see if there was anything I could think of that like they could surprise me with. I've personally been more of like PC gamer, PlayStation. So if they can surprise me and pull me in with more like Xbox exclusives, I mean, Game Pass has been a game changer for me. I've been using that a lot lately. So just like bringing me into that ecosystem, if they can do that, like, then they've surprised me. So
no, and that's part of what they're trying to do here. Is you said, you know, you can play all this stuff on your PC, you can play, you know, on your phone via xCloud, and like, you know, bringing more games to more people. So as you said, hopefully we'll see a bunch of games today, right? And we know Halo is going to be a big focus, but obviously they've got a lot of other things to fill out that hour. All right, well, thanks, Lauren, Austin, and Jack. We will see you guys later. We'll all be watching live, and we do have some special world premieres throughout this show. We've got a number. I think we've got over, I think, a half dozen things we're going to show you guys over the next 45 minutes here to give you a little preview of some stuff that will be coming to Xbox. And we're going to start right now with this world premiere announcement. Check it out.
World premiere.
You're the reincarnation of the Luminary.
Know this. The Luminary is the root of all evil and will bring naught but misery to our realm.
A hero will surely arise to take the sword in hand once more.
$1986年に日本で第一作目となるドローンクエストというロール
Parece um jogo bom até.
今年で34周年を迎えました。今回シリーズ本編最新作のドローンクエスト 11S が Xbox プラットフォームで発売され、さらにゲームパスにも登場します。
Que dizes?
なんと Xbox にドローンクエストが初登場ということで、
Dragon
僕も
Quest
大変嬉しく思います。今日は皆さんにドローンクエスト 11S の魅力を紹介していきたいと思います。
Nunca joguei, por acaso, um jogo que nunca joguei. Vai vir para o Xbox Game Pass. Está muito bom.
冒険の舞台はロテゼタシアというさまざまな地形がある広大な世界です。
Eu espero que
街は
só
武
curto
器を
esse
買っ
tipo
た
de
り
jogo.
クエストを受けたり
Ah,
できる冒
o
険
que é
に
que
語
tu
ります
achas, ó,
重要な話も聞けるでしょう
ó Flávio?
モンスターとのバトルでは戦士や魔法使い盗賊舞踏家などキャラクターの特徴を生かした戦術で戦います出現するモンスターも
Isto também não é um tipo de jogo que eu vai a jogar muito. Não gosto muito, tipo, só a
今
animação.
戦闘しているスライムは一作目から登場している人気者な
Há
んですよ
pessoas que vão gostar. Boas tardes, Nuno Gamer, Nuno
その他にも
Castelhano.
昔懐かしい 2D モードや
Boas
過
tardes
去
a
のシリ
todos.
ーズの作品の世界を体験できるサブクエストなどのやり込む要素も満載ですいよいよ XBOX プラットフォームに登場する日本の RPG の王道ドラゴンクエスト 11S をお楽しみください発売は2020年12月4日ですそれではまた
Ah, muito. Tem muita. Como é que eu te vou explicar? Tem muito. Antes, eu lembro-me de jogar isso no Game Boy. Eu joguei esse jogo no Game Boy.
There you go, Dragon Quest coming for the first time to Xbox. And now we're going to get right into another world premiere. This is a brand new game announcement. A smaller team and studio that has a new title to announce today on the pre-show. So take a look at this.
Olha, em dezembro.
Então, o que é que vem aí?
All right, that's Exomecha, a brand new free-to-play game coming in late 2021, and that's a first look at that. We do have more new games and some cool stuff. We've got something very cool to wrap up the pre-show as our last premiere that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So stick around. And of course, at the top of the hour, we're going to get a look at a lot of the first-party games from Microsoft, including the world gameplay debut of Halo Infinite. Right now, though, we're going to turn to our second panel to preview what we're hoping, all our hopes and dreams for Xbox today. Joining me first off is Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps. Aaron, you ready for Blinks?
Oh, dude, you're way ahead of me, brother. I was all blinked up, and you just brought the heat, man.
You've been waiting all summer for this moment. Will the time sweeper return? All right, good to have you with us, Aaron. We've got Danny O'Dwyer from No Clip. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
How you doing, man? I'm just really happy for Aaron to get his Blinks. He's been waiting for like, was it a month since we talked on PlayStation? You know, forget all these new studios and all these new games that all their acquisitions are going to do. It's all about the Blinks.
Even internet,
back the time sweeper, right? That's clearly the closer of the show, right? You must know something. And finally, we've got Alana Pierce joining us. Hey,
hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. All right, you're all chipper, ready to go. This is Xbox Day. Hopefully some excitement for all of us with what Xbox has in store. So we joked about Blinks, but Xbox has a lot of franchises, a lot of history in gaming over the past 20 years. I'm going to open with the same question I had for the last panel. What are your hopes? What are your expectations? What do you want to see from Xbox in this next hour that's going to, convince you that they've got a lot of great stuff and, charting the future of gaming? Aaron, let's take Blinks off the table. Beyond that, what else can they do for you today?
Well, if I'm going to be honest, man, I want to know what the heck's going on with Exomecha, because that, I was not expecting something like that, and holy crap.
Some Transformer action?
that appealed to like my 80s, early 90s culture mind. I was just like, it's just big silver robots punching each other, and there's a robot dragon, I guess, that breathes fire. Great, I'm in. Let's do it.
All right, so Exomecha clearly at the top of the pile. They've already won you over, Danny. You visit a lot of studios around the world when we can. Hear about them. Hear their stories. No Clip, you do some incredible documentaries. From your perspective, like, what does Xbox have to do today? What do you want to see in this hour showcase?
Well, we've had Microsoft, doing a lot of acquisitions over the past couple of years, and a lot of studios that were sort of working on games, perhaps, or working on smaller games for them. So I think what I'm excited for today is for a bunch of those studios to maybe show something off. So one studio we visited earlier this year was Obsidian, who were working on Grounded. They've been acquired by Microsoft in the interim, or just prior to that. So I'm interested to see if we'll see what everyone hopes, which is a big budget Obsidian role-playing game. That's kind of on my top list of things I'd like to see. And then the other one is what's happened to Fable. Obviously, in the past couple of, Lionhead isn't around anymore. There's a lot of rumor that Playground, who work on the Forza series, may have sort of taken up the mantle on that. It's been rumored that they've been working on some sort of open world role-playing game as well. So those are kind of the two that I'm looking to see. And just anything else from the rest of their acquisitions, like Double Fine. I'm sure they're a small team, so I'm sure they're not running multiple projects, but you never know. Maybe they're in early concept phase on something.
No, I think RPGs is a great genre, right? Where it's like Xbox has done lots of action games, but doing RPG stuff, I think, is an opportunity for them to show some great stuff in the RPG genre. Alana, what's I know you've been fan of Gears. You've been fans of you're excited about Cyberpunk that's coming out. That obviously will be on all systems, but on Xbox as well. What do you want to see from Team Xbox this morning?
Also blinks. No, I'm kidding. I love Fable. I really want a new Fable. Like Danny said, it's rumored that Playground Games are working on it, and I buy that rumor. They hired a lot of people from a lot of studios known for making really big games, including Rockstar and Guerrilla. So I really, really, really want to see Fable. I love that world, and I feel like there's something so pleasant about a British RPG, like the humor captured in the original Fable game. I just love so much, and obviously Peter Molyneux would no longer be attached, so that changes things, but that's what I really, really want. Also really obviously excited to see more Halo. I'm very curious to see if any of the Perfect Dark rumors hold up, because I also love Perfect Dark. But to get away from games hype, I really want to know more about xCloud. I'm kind of hoping that we hear a little bit about xCloud and what they're planning to do with that in the future after that Game Pass announcement, which is super exciting. So those are my big three.
No, I think you're right. There's such an interesting story there around what's happening with Xbox Live, with Game Pass, this idea of, having the, a subscription sort of approach, right? Versus buying $60 games time and again. It seems like part of Microsoft's approach is, very Netflix-like, and that you're going to sort of get all these games, all this content. And that'll mean big games, but also, potentially smaller games that people are more likely to sample, which I think is, a huge opportunity here to see a diversity of content. That, there'll be some stuff for the super core gamers, but maybe some stuff that's a little broader in its appeal too. Let's talk about Halo. They've done a very good job over the past week hyping everyone up around, Master Chief's return. Seems like a bit of a spiritual reboot in a way of Halo. I mean, we saw the kind of key art, the box art yesterday, was like very reminiscent of the original Halo Combat Evolved. We know we're going to see the campaign today. We saw, I think it was last year at E3, we saw kind of we've actually past two E3s, we saw kind of teaser assets for Infinite. Originally, we saw kind of the engine, and then last year we saw, sort of an in-game sequence, or at least rendered in engine. What are your hopes? What does Halo have to do? Obviously a legendary franchise. I think there's a big opportunity here for them, but it's a very competitive space with first-person action games right now. What do you want to see in a new Halo? What will convince you that Halo's back on top?
More Chief, less Locke. That's my number one.
I think we'll get that.
Yeah, I think so too. I feel like that's something that they've really focused on, and I know that they got a lot of criticism for the story, and I'm actually, from what I've heard, Halo Infinite's development got pushed a little bit because they reworked the narrative after people were so upset about the Locke focus of the last game. Halo's an interesting one in that I don't want it to shift too far from classic Halo, because that's sort of been with me my whole life. But I would also, same token, like a story like an ODST. I really liked the way that was told. I feel like that's really unlikely, but I want a groundbreaking story. I want something that kicks me in the feels like Reach did or like ODST did. But with the lore and the nerdiness of probably a Halo 2, just as long as Chief's with me the whole way, I'm going to be good though.
Yes, as you said, a focus on Master Chief in terms of the style of gameplay. Danny, we see kind of first-person games going in different directions, with co-op, with other sort of, aspects to it. The sandbox style of Halo is something that I think people really like, the skirmishes and whatnot, in the gameplay. Do you think, does that still hold up in 2020, or what do you when you see this demo or gameplay footage, what are you going to be looking for that's going to cue to you like Halo's back?
Yeah, I think that's the big sort of question on this. When we first saw Infinite, it was around the time that big sort of shift into games as a service was happening, where games like The Division and, Destiny is obviously the sort of most obvious one, where we're turning into these platforms that we're getting catered to with new content over and over and over again. And obviously the word Infinite sort of implied something along those lines. So I'm really interested to see, Halo, when it first came around, and then when it had its sort of like soft reboot in a way with Halo 3, it's sort of like re-emergence. I feel like it was very much a game that was pushing both single player and multiplayer, and also just a lot of interconnectivity with different types of modes and stuff. So it's always been on this sort of bleeding edge of like gameplay design. And the other side of it that I'm really interested in is just how the Slipspace engine works, because they've had access to the hardware, or they've known what the hardware was going to be like longer than anyone. So really, we always look at the Forzas as the, beautiful showcases for new hardware. But I think in the same way, whatever we see from that gameplay is going to give us a real indication of just how good games can look on this system.
No, that's a great point. I think, as you said, this is hopefully going to be the high bar of, what we can look for visually and in terms of gameplay and the experience with it. Aaron, are you much of a Halo guy besides the blink skin or something like that? What's going to convince you that this is the first person action game to get?
Well, for me, Halo's always all been about multiplayer, right? So like, I was never huge for the single player campaigns. I always played online, always played with friends. And the thing that I really hope is that there's sort of like a dedication to the old style of Halo, right? Like, I feel like every game nowadays is like heroes this, heroes that. And I love Overwatch, but if we're playing Halo, I want to go back to Deathmatch. I want to go back to Capture the Flag, King of the Hill. Like, I'm way into that kind of gameplay. So if they can like modernize that and make it still have that sort of, like it feels new. It doesn't feel like, oh, they're just re-releasing Halo or like Unreal Tournament or something. That's what I'm looking forward to, is what can they do with multiplayer?
I'll take a re-release of Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, there we go.
Also, I did like Halo 5 multiplayer. I was actually okay with that. I am just more scared about kind of what you said, Danny, that they're going to Destiny-ify the single-player campaign, which is a very profitable thing to do. So I get why studios want to do that, but I'm scared.
Yeah, I know you said how they blend single and multiplayer, and it sounds like they're talking about campaigns. I don't know if we're even going to get much on the multiplayer. So you said how that's all going to blend together and how they're going to kind of explain what it is, right? And that's part of the thing on the multiplayer. So you said how that's all going to blend together and how they're going to kind of explain what it is, right? And that's part of the thing with these streams. Sometimes we see lots of footage, but then we have all these questions afterwards about like, well, what is this? What are we actually seeing? Is that co-op? Is that single player? So we will have Aaron Greenberg from Xbox is going to join us afterwards to break down some of what we see, and hopefully we'll get some information in the show as well about what they're doing with Halo. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. We will all watch everything together here at the top of the hour, and we are about 30 minutes away from the live Xbox game showcase. We don't know where it's going to start or where it's going to end, but the one thing we do know is that Halo Infinite is going to be there, and we've got the countdown clock up there as well, so you guys can wait with us. But we've got much more to talk about, and we've got some more world premieres to show you guys. Right now, we've got an update on a game that is coming out later this year. You just saw it at Ubisoft Forward. Here's a new look at Watch Dogs Legion.
Falta 30 minutos para começar, pessoal. Para começar o grande show. Estamos quase.
But don't worry, we've got our best man on the case. Because if
Watch
anyone
Dogs
can fix this mess, it's this smooth bastard super
grande
spy.
jogo, por acaso eu ouvi dizer que dá para
Well,
contratar vários tipos de pessoas na rua.
it's a state of emergency. Move in and lock down the city. In the chaos, private armies have taken the streets.
Albion Security's contract has been extended indefinitely.
A crooked spy agency lurks in the shadows.
It's basic tradecraft. Want to sell a lie, weave it into the truth.
And organised crime has grabbed the old city by the bollocks.
The Kellys have got a human organ black market.
No, but I got to keep tracks on my merchandise, don't I?
The government's literally letting Albion shoot us in the streets.
You need to build a resistance. Recruit anyone in the whole city. And I really mean anyone. Genius hackers, hard grafters, idiots, everyday people with something to fight for and something unique to offer. The right person for the job, or the ones you least expect.
The city needs a resistance. And it starts with you. What do you say?
Yeah, I'm in.
Welcome to the resistance.
Faces on, guns out. It's about to get real.
Find them, recruit them. Welcome to the resistance.
All right, well, as we've mentioned quite a few times, we are going to get a first look at the campaign of Halo Infinite. And I asked a friend of mine what he wants to see in a brand new Halo. You may know Ninja for many things over the past few years, but he actually started and created quite a stir with all his awesome Halo gaming and gameplay back in the day. So without further ado, let's hear from Ninja about what he wants to see in a brand new Halo. Tyler, take it away.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm excited to see what Xbox has in store.
Hello.
And here's what I want out of Halo.
Hello, Ninja.
If Halo Infinite
gives
us a incredible campaign to close out just the classic series with a beautiful ending and a matchmaking / multiplayer system where the ranking system is unique and it works, and just really amazing, iconic maps. I feel like a lot of people loved the Halo 1, Halo 2, and Halo 3 maps that came out. They just felt so fun, whether it be super bouncing from Halo 2, nading all the weapons off and learning all that in Halo 1, and just the flow of Halo 3. It was just something so incredible. Played all of them, I love them all, and if Halo Infinite can just get that down, get some of those things down, right? Give us amazing weaponry, right? Weapon gameplay, like the Halo 1 classic pistol, the Halo 2 battle rifle, the Halo 3 battle rifle and sniper. I think it'll be in a really good spot, and I'm just excited to see what they have in store, man.
Awesome. Well, we'll see how much of that comes true, hopefully at the top of the hour when we get a look at Halo Infinite. Thanks to Ninja for joining us on the show. Now it is time to get to another world premiere, a net new game that you haven't heard about. And this one comes from my home country, my home province of Ontario, Canada. I saw this and got excited about just a brand new game from a smaller studio that you haven't heard about, but I think looks pretty cool. Check out this world premiere.
O que é que vamos ter aí?
Mais um. Isso é tipo mais jogos para crianças. Na minha opinião, tem muitos jogos para crianças.
Temos que ter vários géneros.
Sim, também é verdade. Temos que ter vários géneros de jogos para várias idades. É uma coisa que eu também concordo plenamente. Bem, no canal oficial da Xbox já estava a tocar a música e já está a aparecer 24 minutos a começar.
Definitely some Stranger Things vibes to that one. Echo Generation with the hockey smash. Very exciting. All right, now it's time to get to another world premiere. Check this out. Oh wait, we got YouTube creators first of all. Sorry. I'm so excited. I think there are more world premieres coming. We do have more coming. Don't worry. But right now, actually, we're going to hear from a number of YouTube creators around the world to hear what they're looking forward to from Xbox. Hopefully at the top of the hour. So let's check this out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Garu and I'm a content creator on YouTube, and today I'm so much excited for this Xbox event because with this we are gonna get ourselves the brand new Halo stuff. And I used to play Halo back in 2011 and 2012, and I just used to spend hours and hours making a map on Halo 3 than actually playing the game. Me and my friends, we used to be like, okay, let's just put that over there, let's put this over there, and literally we used to come back from school and we used to mess around with maps and all that stuff. And it just used to be a fun game in general. Can anyone forget about the skulls? Like, we used to have to like go ahead and collect them. Like, I could go in for hours on Halo, okay? Because with those skulls, we could actually go ahead and try out different stuff. And there just used to be so many variations in the game on its own. There used to be co-op, there used to be 1v1, King of the Hill, Juggernaut, and so many game modes in general. So I'm super excited for the brand new release of this game, because especially for content creators out there, there's gonna be so much stuff to make content on. Especially, you know, there's gonna be campaign, and plus if you guys make content on multiplayer, we can go on replay file on theater mode and capture some cool moments that we actually had in the game. So I really wish in the brand new Halo we get ourselves the co-op game mode. With that, you know, the 1v1 still remains, and all the fun game modes that we used to have in Halo 3, I still wish those still remain, because that will definitely bring back a lot of memories. So yeah, my name is Garu, and hopefully you guys are excited for this brand new game and for the event. Peace out.
Hey guys, Middle Jesus here. Now I vividly remember buying my very first Xbox. I have it right here. It is the beautiful translucent Halo Edition Xbox. When I first saw this machine, I absolutely fell in love with it. So ahead of its time, and so many great AAA games as well as hidden gems. And then when it came time for the Xbox 360, well, this was my machine of choice right here. I have the special edition E3 2005 faceplate on here. And check this out. This was back when you had to have an external Wi-Fi adapter. It wasn't built into the machine, but man, I have so many great memories playing awesome games on this. Now, when it comes to the Xbox One, I'll admit I was a bit late to the party on that one, but I eventually did pick up the Xbox One X. You see the Gears edition here, and I have to say I was blown away by this. It's excellent hardware and the games are absolutely amazing on it. And so, from what I've seen so far of the Xbox Series X, it appears that Microsoft's going all in on powerful hardware and performance, plus they've added a bunch of first-party developers over the last couple of years, and there is that awesome backwards compatibility, which is important for collectors like me. So, yeah, I definitely think it's going to be pretty cool, and I want to learn more.
Hola amigas, amigos, yo soy Antrax. Wow, Halo, qué recuerdos tengo con este título, con este juego. Hizo mi infancia la más divertida de todas. Recuerdo que con el Halo 3 la campaña me la pasé en todos los modos posibles, en solitario y con amigos. El modo en línea, una chulada, lo mejor del mundo. Después con el Halo Reach lloré con la campaña, las cinemáticas son perfectas. Con Halo 4 recuerdo que mi primer trabajo, entré a trabajar para poder pagar el juego. Y entonces eso me ha causado una gran felicidad todo el tiempo con Halo. Es un juego que hizo mi infancia, mi adolescencia, y estoy seguro que lo voy a jugar hasta que me muera. Y lo que se viene con este nuevo título, nueva entrega, estoy seguro que va a ser lo mejor.
Hey, Summer Game Fest audience, Lamar Wilson here, and here are the 5 games that I'm looking forward to them announcing today. So the first one is Halo Infinite. Now, I came into Halo late with Halo 5. I know. But I loved it so much and I can't wait to see what's next. Then there's a new game from Rare called Everwild. It just looks amazing and breathtaking. I have no idea what the game's about, but I want to see it. Number 3, I definitely want to see a Gear 6. This is going to be a game really about revenge and taking the Horde out at the center, at the literal core, hopefully for the final time. Now, number 4, since we're talking about Gears, why not a Lego's Gear Saga? You know, they did the Funko Pop thing on mobile, but what about Lego? Like, I would actually like to play that, so they need to announce that today. Finally, Cuphead 2. I know. Now, Cuphead 1 tore me a new one. It's one of the most unforgiving games ever, but for some reason, I just want more. Why do I want more? Man, am I crazy? Yes, I am.
Lamar, fully decked out his Xbox gear, ready for the show. And it was so cool to have gamers from around the world joining us from India and Mexico and obviously here in the United States, because one of the things I think we found this year more than ever is that games bring us together, and people are watching all around the world. So I want to say hello to everyone watching this special event, where hopefully we're all just going to be excited about games as we watch through it. And the stream is coming up in about 18 minutes. You can watch it live right here on this feed. We're going to go right into it. And then immediately afterwards, we've got our exclusive post show with guests, some of the developers featured in the showcase, and Aaron Greenberg from Xbox will be joining us to answer questions. And we'll also have some creators join us as well to grade, see how Xbox did based on our expectations. And we'll also do a poll on Twitter. So make sure to vote on that. But right now it is time to get to another world premiere. This is a sequel to a game that if you watch YouTube Let's Plays and YouTube gaming videos, you've probably seen. Check this out.
Okay, mais world premiere. Olá a todos mais uma vez, muito obrigado por estarem deste lado. Peço que subscrevam o nosso canal. E quais são as vossas expectativas para daqui a pouco?
There it is, Hello Neighbor 2, and we've got some more games still to come, and we are 14 minutes away from the start of the showcase from Xbox. It's going to last almost exactly 1 hour. So there'll be an hour showcase in 15 minutes and then our post show afterwards. But right now we're going to take a look at the ID at Xbox program, a great program this week. Actually, if you're on Xbox, there's a Summer Game Fest demo event, over 70 games that you can download and preview for free. One of the big things I wanted to do with Summer Game Fest was give everyone a chance to play more games at home. And I want to thank the team at Xbox for putting that together in these unusual circumstances where we don't have big consumer events to go and play games. But right now, let's take a look at ID at Xbox, and there are some glimpses of some new games in here as well. Check it out.
Cá temos mais World Premiere. Estes jogos fazem parte da Xbox porque são os indies e a Microsoft está a apostar cada vez mais nos indies porque realmente às vezes até descobre-se grandes produtores, não é? De jogos. Tu que penso de 12 minutos, é um jogo português. Produzido por um português, não é? Por portugueses. Gostava de saber mais como é que está o desenvolvimento do jogo.
There you go, Shredder's snowboarding game. I missed my SSX, so that one looks really good. And lots of great games coming to the ID at Xbox program that we're excited about. All right, now, though, we have a pretty cool brand new game to show you. This comes from a legendary game creator. And when I saw this and the journey he wants to take us on with this game, I was really excited and honored to have the opportunity to share this with you. So this is a bit of a longer piece, but it takes you into the world of a brand new game from a special creator in Japan. Please check this out.
Hello, Xbox ファンの皆様、スクエアエニックスの中裕二です。今日は皆様に不思議な物語をお届けに参りました。僕は現在スクエアエニックスにいてバランカンパニーという新しいブランドを立ち上げました。そしてここにいる昔ソニックやナイツを一緒に作った大島直人と20年ぶりにタッグを組んでアクションゲームを作っています。
中さんがスクエアエニックスに行くと知った時はびっくりしました。
僕も驚いたよ。
しかしこうしてまた一緒にタッグを組んでゲームを作れること、そして僕たちの得意とするゲーム作りとスクエアエニックスが得意とする物語や音楽とが合わさり、誰も体験したことのない新しいゲームを世界中の皆様にお届けできることをとても嬉しく思います。
今日僕たちが皆様にお届けするのはアクションゲームの全てを詰め込んだアクションゲームオブアクションゲーム、バランワンダーワールドです。アクションゲームにミュージカルの世界観を持ち込んでボタン一つでたくさんの衣装能力を使い進んでいくゲームになります。
苦悩や葛藤、人は誰しもがポジティブな気持ちとネガティブな気持ちのバランスを保ちながら生きています。しかしそのバランスが崩れた時、あなたはバランシアターに迷い込みます。悩める12人のキャストたちの心象世界を あなたはさまざまなアクションを駆使して進んでいきます。アクションの一つ一つが衣装に割り当てられており、 その数はなんと
são altinhas, eu gosto muito dos jogos que estão aí, talvez experimente alguns deles, é isso que apareceu aí de skateboarding na neve.
ネガティブな気持ちにとらわれてしまったキャストたちの心をあなたの手で取り戻してあげてください。
本作は24言語に対応予定です。
Não sei se o meu áudio tá bom.
さらに Xbox シリーズ X にももちろん対応し、片方のコンソールを持っていればどちらでも遊んでいただけるスマートデリバリーにも対応する予定です。世界中の皆様に 4K の最高画質で本作の世界を隅々まで楽しんでいただけます。ワンダーワールドの世界で皆様をお待ちしています。最後に今日は全世界初公開の映像も準備いたしましたのでどうぞご覧ください。It's show time!
Vamos lá ver então esse jogo da Square Enix.
Balan Wonderworld, a strange and mysterious land that you visit when you come to a turning point in life.
Tá bom. Tá um bocadinho baixinho o teu áudio.
Tá baixinho?
Agora tá bom.
Tá bom agora?
Já te vi. O teu áudio tá ótimo.
Over 80 different costumes, unlocking unique actions and abilities.
Isso parece interessante. Múltiplas plataformas, não é?
É.
Look into your hearts to discover what's most precious.
Falta 7 minutos praticamente para começar o grande show da Xbox.
Sim, mas até agora tem mostrado bons jogos. Estou a gostar daquilo que tem estado a ver. Se foram poucos os jogos, não é? Porque eles têm estado a falar e a mostrar as suas expectativas para este evento e para os jogos. E tanto como o Ninja falou para o Halo Infinity, mas tem... Sempre foi bom, assim, uma preparação para o grande evento.
There it is, the announcement of Balan Wonderland. Nights was such a special and important game to me. I want to thank Nakasan and Square Enix for sharing that world premiere announcement with us here on the pre-show. There's even more good stuff, though, coming up at the top of the hour. We are just 6 minutes away, so we're going to have another group join us here as we count down in the final 5 minutes. We got Matt Pat joining us live from the Game Theorist headquarters.
It's over. I could check out right now. I am sold. Balan Wonderworld, #1 game. Over. Stand aside Halo Infinite. That was what I needed to see.
I was going to say, I was pretty excited when we got that. I'm like, okay, this pre-show is going to be pretty good. That's an exciting announcement. Yeah, just to have those guys back doing that. So yeah, I agree with you, Matt Pat. All right, we've also got JD Witherspoon joining us. What's up, Ron? How you doing?
Yo, I'm chilling, man. I'm looking at this countdown for the showcase. I'm ready to put my helmet on and get it going, but I'm like, let's talk real quick.
I was going to say, we got 5 minutes. And joining us also is Allegra Frank from Vox. Allegra, how you doing?
Hey, I'm really good now. Like, after Balan Wonderland, I'm with Matt. Yo, that's it. That's the end of the show for me.
We done. Yeah, no, it's nice, happy, uplifting. We need a game like that. So that was, pretty good way to end the pre-show. It hopefully means there's even more big surprises coming in the main show. And let's talk about this. You guys are going to join us afterwards as well to react to what we see. So let's kind of get the preview. Balan Wonderland, but what else? What do you guys? Let me put it this way: what does Microsoft need to do to get an A from you watching this conference? So what's it going to take? Let's start with you, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, to me, we all know Halo Infinite is the big gem in their crown, right? Like, that's the piece that they're selling, the killer app. That is their killer app. But to me, as a mild Halo fan, I want to see what is the other thing that's going to get me to buy this system in particular. And if it's not a neon green skin, like we saw for the earlier Xbox generations, to coat that big obelisk that you're buying with Xbox Series X, Balan Wonderland or Balan Wonderworld might have sold it for me. It looks like exactly the sort of game that I need in 2020, that the world needs in 2020, and it hits me right in the nostalgia feel. So I needed another killer app for this system, and that might have been it.
Wow. All right. You guys are done in the pre-show. I like it. There are already high marks. JD, we know we're going to see Halo. Seems like you're sufficiently hyped if you've got your Master Chief helmet. What's it going to take to get an A from you in the post-show grade?
I would love for them to take Halo Infinite and use it to be showcased the same way they showcased Halo 2 from the E3 2005 world premiere. I remember that. They did the gameplay mixed in with cutscenes. And then, I believe we talked about Fable a little bit earlier. I believe Fable 4 would be great. I don't know if they've ever put out that last Fable. I'm not sure. I have to go back. And then for me personally, I want a new Matrix video game. I know that no one in the chat wants that, but hey, remember Enter the Matrix? That was fire. Remember that bullet time? Yo, bring me that.
Yeah, I remember that. Right now. Intersected with the movies and stuff. Yeah, all right. That's a wild prediction that we're gonna get a new Matrix. Keanu, they used Keanu last year, so you never know. Bring him back again. Allegra, I know you're excited about Balan, what they're doing. What else will it take to hype you up to an A grade in the post-show?
Right. I mean, everything that's excited me in the pre-show is pretty much what I would also want in the post-show, which is interesting, sort of inventive, newer IP. Like, I'm not a big, Halo nerd or Watch Dogs or just anything with a number after it, unless it's some bizarre number that has nothing to do with the game. Like, if it's a sequel, I'm pretty much out. But I would love to see more from Tell Me Why by Don't Nod. I would love to see some actual gameplay and a good emphasis on that, because it really brings an interesting amount of diversity to Xbox. But in general, I like to be really surprised whether or not it's some, Final Fantasy exclusive that's making its way onto the Xbox for the first time, or just some game we've never heard of before from some small, exciting studio. I mean, that's always what wins me over. Also, Keanu Reeves, if he shows up again, I mean, that would be really great.
Hey, you never know. I think he's in Berlin filming Matrix, but hey, it's virtual, so anyone can. This year, anyone can show up, because around the world we can connect people, and it's so different to not be with you guys, with 5,000 people at the Microsoft Theater getting to see this stuff. But we are literally just about a minute away here from going live. You guys are going to join us afterwards. You've got your Master Chief helmet. And I want to thank everyone for joining us exclusively here on YouTube for the pre-show for the Xbox event. It's going to be about 2 minutes until we go, so maybe one last quick rapid fire here. JD's got his helmet. How do you guys think they're going to open the show? What do you think the first thing is?
Yeah, absolutely. Start with the big guns. They know that's what everyone's here for, and then everything else is kind of icing on the cake.
Allegra, do you agree, or do you want something weird and wacky?
It's going to be Halo, which for someone who doesn't really care about Halo, I would love, because I need a bathroom break. So, sorry, JD.
The chat just lit up. He's going to take a bathroom break during Halo. All right, but hey, We got Balin, and yeah, that's part of the fun is that we don't know what they're going to do, and they've been very quiet. They've just said Halo, but beyond that, they've really not told us anything else about what games are going to be in there. So you said, Tell Me Why, great example. Everwild, Psychonauts, those are games that we know they're making that hopefully we'll have updates on. And then I know for a fact there will be some new games announced in this showcase, and it's exciting to watch it live here on YouTube. Well, Matt, JD, Allegra, thanks for joining us. You guys are going to be with us afterwards. We're going to react to the press conference, see how Microsoft did, and then we're going to have some guests, some of the developers and some of the games featured in the show. We're going to have interviews with them and Xbox's Aaron Greenberg will be joining us live to break down some of the news. So enjoy it, watch it live here, the Xbox Games Showcase, an hour of games right here on YouTube.
I could not be more excited. This is like Xbox Christmas. Oh, look who it is. We can see you guys all in chat. We're so excited to watch this along with you. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to smash a massive like if you're excited for everything we're going to see today, including our first ever look at Halo Infinite gameplay. It's going to be absolutely insane. Here we go. Oh. Oh my.
I'm literally got chills already. It's been 2 seconds.
That is some serious drip.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's a little particles.
Cá está, pessoal. Vou
It
tentar ao
all
máximo.
means nothing
E agora temos aqui o nosso grande,
until you step inside.
nosso grande jogo que estávamos todos à espera. Hello!
Agora tá fixe.
Am I dead already? I must be. I mean, this is a punishment, right? Yep, this is death. No! No! No, 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 no! This isn't happening. I'm going to have to make an emergency landing.
Deixa acabar o outro.
Hold on, Chief. No! No! You! I can't stand this! Who you are? Breathe. No! You don't get to tell me what to do.
Você é do
You
Hollow.
don't get to tell me anything!
Certo.
Weird!
Sim, I'll Infinity.
Are you even listening? I count 3 anti-aircraft cannons. 3 what? I know I saw clone wars over there. I'm going to dig through them and find one with the working sleep space drive. And when you're done with this war, we get away from here. Far away. Wait here. Oh. Please. Let me see what I can find.
Cannons first. When I get back, we can look. Together.
Okay, big guy.
Já temos a tua câmara. Peço desculpa a todos por esse momento.
Só esses gráficos, meu Deus. Só esses gráficos. Isto na nova Xbox Series X.
Ok, temos mapa. Para aquilo que eu estou a perceber, isso vai ser mundo aberto.
Pois. Ok,
Vais ter as tuas missões, deves ter as tuas missões primárias e vais ter as missões secundárias. Side quest.
Tipo o jogo que a gente jogava, o Destiny. Ui. Dá o tiro. Só para os bosses e a estrutura de tudo. Os gráficos estão lindos. E a gente está a ver no YouTube. Imagina numa televisão 4K, 8K. O que é que tu achaste do Alva? O que é que estás a achar do gameplay do Alva?
O Alva é o jogo que eu sempre gostei. Foi o jogo que me fez voltar não, ir para a Xbox. Até por aqui a câmera assim.
Ai, olha só por aí. Olha só por isso ele vai subir no elevador e tudo.
Sim, já isso ele já fazia nos outros.
Sim.
Graficamente é que se nota aí os
Pois, gráficos. Olha o som da música.
A música é dos pontos mais fortes que o jogo tem, é a música.
Será que a gente, nós jogadores da Xbox, quando falam em mim, falam em todos? Teremos acesso ao demo, nem que seja um demo disso, por lá. Porque assim via se valia a pena depois comprar o jogo ou não. Assim tipo a ver, a gente não sabe. Sim, tens razão, vale a pena.
lost this war months ago. Your people are broken.
Doutor V.
Hunted.
Esse boss, isso deve ser um boss, esse NPC.
I wish I could tell you it was difficult.
Nessas naves.
But it wasn't. We are one step ahead. Always. The ring is already under our control. Soon, the auditorium as well. The Harbinger and the Banished share the same goal. We fight together to honor the will of Atriarchs. But without challenge, I grew weary, lost, alone. But here you now stand. This
Eu gostava da música.
is my
Da
last
música
fight.
de
True
fundo,
test
estou a gostar.
of legends. Our story will outlive us both. Set a fire in your heart, Spartan. Bare your fangs. Fight hard.
Salve infinito. Pronto, ainda não há data. A gente já sabe que é esse final desse ano.
O jogo vai ser
para-
lançado em novembro.
Ok. Outro.
Olha, e vai estar no Game Pass.
Opa! Opa! Isso é muito bom.
Espero que tenha gostado de ver pela primeira vez a campanha Halo Infinite. Eu estou com muito orgulho da equipe
Opa.
343 e quero compartilhar um pouco das batalhas épicas que esperam por você no próximo capítulo da jornada do Master Chief. Esta é a campanha mais ambiciosa da 343. Pela primeira vez, os jogadores têm a liberdade de explorar um novo misterioso Halo Ring várias vezes maior do que nos últimos 2 jogos juntos. O Halo Infinite foi construído do zero para aproveitar ao máximo a série Xbox Series X, com maiores batalhas, vistas épicas, efeitos visuais mais complexos, com 60 quadros por segundo impecáveis que podem dar vida ao Halo Ring de maneiras nunca antes possíveis. Vamos compartilhar mais informações sobre o Halo Infinite nos próximos
Que jogo
meses,
será esse?
incluindo uma primeira olhada no multiplayer. Então, por favor, vejam agora o que os outros membros da família Xbox Series estão desenvolvendo. Estreia mundial.
Ué, pá, ia-me assustando agora. Só o grito dessa mulher.
O que é que temos aí? O que é que temos aí? Tomb Raider.
É, deve ser. Não faço a mínima. Ou então deve ser o... como é que é? Decay, uma coisa assim. Exatamente, eu acho que é isso, na minha opinião. Faz-me lembrar a rapariga do jogo. Quando a gente começa. Sou a estrutura do jogo. É muito falar.
Está interessante, estou gostando do que estou a ver.
Também estou. Já sabia. Sabia.
Então.
Já sabia que era o Steel daqui. 3. Logo vi que era. Vamos ver o que é que vai ser agora. Olha eu, presidente da Xbox.
Alright!
15 estúdios que eu tenho.
Então, um dos rumores então era verdade, que eles estavam a apostar forte no State of Decay.
Sejam todos
Pois é,
bem-vindos
os
ao
rumores têm
showcase
que ser
do
verdade.
Xbox Games. Hoje estamos mostrando jogos de
Game Pass.
de nossos 15 estúdios da Xbox Games, incluindo o lançamento de 5 novos jogos oficiais. O que você verá hoje é como os estúdios da Xbox Games estão trabalhando para dar vida aos seus sonhos.
Olha,
Acreditamos que a
podemos
maneira como você
jogar
encontra
todos os
e
jogos
joga
que a gente
seus
vimos
jogos
hoje
é tão importante quanto o dispositivo que
no
você
Game
joga.
Pass.
Game Pass da Xbox é a melhor maneira de descobrir e jogar. No entanto,
Ele
queremos
tá a falar
que
do
você
Game
consiga
Pass
experimentar os
também.
melhores jogos possíveis. Então,
E
se
a
você é um
consola
membro do
agora
Game Pass,
é a
poderá
consola
jogar
mais
todos os
poderosa
jogos que você
que
viu aqui
existe
hoje,
atualmente.
a partir da sua assinatura ou do Free to Play. Esses jogos terão a melhor performance no Xbox Series X, proporcionando fidelidade, desempenho, precisão e imersão inigualáveis. Temos um mais
já estão a
consistente e
desenvolver
poderoso
o Forza
console de última
Motorsport.
geração e construímos a tecnologia de plataforma de ponta para permitir que cada desenvolvedor consiga realizar sua visão completa. Um estúdio que sempre
Tudo para o Game Pass.
ultrapassou os
Isso vai
limites
tudo
do
para o
nosso
Game
hardware
Pass.
é o Turn 10. E estão
Praticamente os
começando
rumores que estavam a dizer que
próximo
o
Forza Motorsport e Xbox Series X está
Xbox
tornando o sonho
Live
deles
Gold ia
de
acabar,
realismo
é verdade,
sem precedentes
isso vai acabar
uma
mesmo,
realidade,
porque isso
com
não traz
ray
nada
tracing
para
e
Xbox,
60 quadros por
na minha
segundo.
opinião. O que é que tu
trailer
achas?
que
Achas
você
que
está
o
prestes
Live
a
Gold
ver
vale a pena?
Foi capturado
Pá, eu
completamente
sempre tive
no
Live
engine.
Gold, por isso não é questão de valer a pena não.
Pois, mas agora
Olha aí.
deixa eu ver. Olha o Forza Motorsport.
É, o Forza Motorsport 8.
Deixa eu ver como é que está esses gráficos de jogo. Jesus.
É, o que estamos a ver é in-game. Aliás, in-engine.
Foi capturado enquanto jogam. Forza Motorsport. Só para o PC e para o Xbox Series X. Que no meu caso eu vou até.
Forza Motorsport. Oh, o que é que vem aí? Um jogo novo ou o que eles já mostraram?
Eu acho que é jogo novo.
Our world has a rhythm. We all sense it. But only a few
Ok, isso é o jogo que eles já
truly
mostraram.
feel
Por
it.
acaso estou com muita curiosidade desse jogo.
It is found in the smallest moments. In every step of a perilous journey. In the symmetry of ritual. In the bonds we share. And in moments of stillness. It teaches us to look beyond the expected. To be a light in dark places. To seek answers. And to stand watch over our world. Our world has a
Que
rhythm.
isso, minha nossa.
We all sense it,
O nome é Vargol.
but only a few.
Tá bom.
Ora boas,
truly
Brian!
feel it.
Sejas bem-vindo aqui ao Xbox Team Portugal. Obrigado por estares aí connosco e todos os que já estão cá. Muito obrigado por estarem a ver a transmissão connosco. Eu estou com muita curiosidade desse jogo. Ver qual vai ser o desenrolar da história. Como é que estás? Graficamente está muito giro.
Everwild dará a você um mundo natural, mágico e selvagem para você explorar e se perder. É um lugar para ser eternal. E a Eternal tem o dom de sentir seu fluxo mágico através da natureza e conecta todos os seres vivos. A equipe da Rares está muito feliz com esse trabalho da Everwild. E espero que vocês também estejam. Mas gostaria de agradecer a
Xbox Game
todos
Studio apresenta.
que nos
Vamos lá
apoiaram
ver mais
pelo
outro.
carinho
Outro jogo.
e pela incrível e positiva comunidade que já se formou a partir desse jogo. Muito obrigada!
Ok, Xbox Studios presents.
Whoa, I just got hit with a flood of memories.
Love you, Mom.
You seeing what I'm seeing?
Mom?
Allison?
Yeah. It doesn't matter that they don't believe us.
We all believed that what happened that night was self-defense. But we couldn't be sure.
It doesn't matter that they kept us apart.
Brother, sister, we look out for each other.
It doesn't matter that finding the truth
Sem tudo, esse jogo para mim tem a ver uma história com o irmão e que
We're all done with fairy tales.
é um irmão.
Isso deve ser o Strange Life 3.
Eu acho que sim.
Deve ser pela forma que está a ser mostrado, não é? Graficamente e da maneira que é feito, faz-me lembrar o Strange Life.
We've been getting these visions whenever we see or hear something really emotional. Everything we thought we knew about Marianne just got thrown out the window.
She loved you. She attacked you.
Não só pela forma que se joga, da jogabilidade, mas pela história. E onde tu próprio escolhes os caminhos que queres fazer.
Nothing good comes from stirring up old memories.
Olha mais,
We don't really have a choice about that.
There's always a choice, son.
I can't do this. Stop!
Oh, tell me why. Ok. Mas deve ser do género. Mas muito bom. O que é que vamos ter agora aqui? Música do Ori.
Oi pessoal, meu nome é Gennady, eu sou cofundador e diretor de tecnologia da Moon Studios. Hoje é com muita alegria que anunciamos que estamos trabalhando numa versão muito especial do Ori and the Will of the Wisps, especificamente para o Xbox Series X. Estamos no momento em que podemos alcançar níveis de fidelidade quadros por segundo nunca antes possível em qualquer console. Um jogo como Ori pode agora rodar a 120 Hz na sua mais alta qualidade, oferecendo um jogo sem precedentes com animação suave e sedosa, imagem nítida e com baixa latência, que é tão importante para se ter um jogo
preciso.
Eles
da maneira que estão a mostrar, a fazerem esse slow motion, é que consegues
Podemos aumentar a imersão em diferentes espaços, usando a tecnologia premium de áudio, que antes não era possível simular em tempo real. E com todo esse poder de hardware, podemos oferecer aos nossos jogadores mais opções de como querem jogar. Queremos que todos vocês experimentem essa versão muito especial da Ori, chegando a Xbox Series X com Smart Delivery ainda este ano.
Ok.
From the furthest reaches of the universe comes the biggest mystery in the galaxy.
An abandoned research facility, and now shady corporate intrigue.
Marvel of the Gorgon asteroid. A sordid stopover, full of salacious secrets and scandalous strangers.
Greetings, attractive patron. You are looking downright unlawful today.
With the right kind of case,
they wanted us to develop a miracle drug.
Can put you on the wrong side of a gun. Or sword. Or this thing. Thrills. Danger. Intrigue.
A word of advice before you go, Captain? Trust no one.
What will you find on Gorgon?
Ok.
This unit cannot bring you any drinks in its
Por acaso tenho que jogar esse jogo, ainda não joguei. Xbox Game Studios presentes. Este sai já para a semana, senão é dia 28.
Ok.
For the biggest game of the year.
Isso para quem gosta de jogos de craft, não é?
Then wait
Tipo Minecraft,
for Cyberpunk.
Hã? O que é que se passou?
But if you're ready for the smallest,
é uma nova DLC.
We've got you covered.
Para quem gosta de tipo de jogos craft, esse jogo é excelente.
From Obsidian Entertainment, the makers of games that are nothing like this one.
O que eu gostava de saber desse jogo é que se vai haver tipo história, ou é mesmo só tipo para evoluir, criar os teus abrigos, não é?
Or just feed your friend to the spiders and go solo.
Se vai ter também tipo raids com o Ark. Dia 28.
Na Obsidian, estamos dedicados a promover nossos jogos de roleplay. Fazemos isso todos os dias quando chegamos ao escritório. Queremos que você jogue a próxima grande aventura de Peril Gorgon. É o primeiro de 2 pacotes de expansão de histórias para o mundo exterior que estamos desenvolvendo com os nossos amigos da Private Division. É importante também evoluir a maneira como contamos histórias e jogos. E Grounded é um exemplo perfeito disso. Temos trabalhado muito nos últimos 2 anos em como contar uma história Obsidian. Agora você poderá jogar no dia 28 de julho, na pré-visualização do Xbox Games e ter acesso antecipados ao stream. Queremos te ouvir e queremos continuar construindo juntos. E se você estiver curioso, sim, estamos trabalhando nesse grande RPG da Obsidian. Vejam só, estreia mundial.
Dia 9 de setembro que sai aquela DLC.
We have
O que é que temos
always
aqui então?
war.
Da Obsidian, ok.
Exatamente.
It forged our empire. Turned heroes into queens and
Pessoal,
kings.
se for caso que eu diga primeiro o jogo do que está a sair no vídeo, é porque eu estou um bocadinho mais à frente.
Now our oaths are lost, forsaken.
Obsidian. Opa!
And you must face the monsters.
Este é um jogo que eu tenho que experimentar na nova consola. Com certeza é um jogo.
Is an oath.
O que é que tu achas, Flávio?
Pois isso fez-me lembrar o
Dark Souls.
Fez-me lembrar o... Ai, como é o nome daquele jogo? Agora não digo o nome.
E o Skyrim.
Avowed é um RPG em primeira pessoa que se passa no mundo da fantasia de Eora. Quando a Obsidian Entertainment entrou na Xbox Game Studios, eles nos disseram que era esse jogo épico que eles queriam fazer. Como criadores de RPGs aclamados pela crítica, é Obsidian na sua melhor forma de ser construída para aproveitar ao máximo o poder do Xbox
estratégia,
Series X.
tipo de romanos,
No Xbox
etc.
Game Studios
Pessoal,
também trabalhamos com
lá,
desenvolvedores
vocês
independentes, sempre com o objetivo de capacitá-los a dar vida às suas ideias. Gostaria de anunciar nosso trabalho com Interior Night, um novo estúdio liderado por alguns dos contadores de histórias mais talentosos no setor. Conheçam agora Caroline Marshall, diretora da Interior Night, para estrear seu jogo original.
É um RPG.
O que é que vem aí?
Bonjour, eu sou Caroline do Interior Night. Nossa equipe é apaixonada por contar histórias interativas, porque quando você joga, entra no lugar do personagem. Você sente seus medos, suas esperanças, seus conflitos em primeira mão. E no processo você aprende muito mais sobre você. E isso é muito poderoso. Nosso primeiro jogo passa 30 anos no sudoeste americano. É uma história sobre família, resiliência e sacrifício, mas acima de tudo é sobre como você moldará o destino de pessoas com falhas reais, tentando encontrar seu caminho no mundo no qual não se encaixam. Espero que gostem do trailer. Estreia mundial.
Vamos lá ver.
Fortune, smile and fade. I haven't seen you much of late. I need you now, cannot wait. But when I look, you're not around.
We were on our way to start a new life that summer. For our family, it was just a stopover.
For mine, it was the end of the road.
On the ground, now!
The sun went down on all of us that day. Was it fate? Coincidence? No. It was a long-forgotten secret, buried in the dark.
All my life, I've been scared of the shadows. But now, I'm finally ready to step into the light. I got your letters.
As dusk falls.
Aqui em Ninja Theory trabalhamos duro em todos os nossos projetos, incluindo o Senua Hellblade 2, que anunciamos no Game Awards.
Eu por acaso estou curioso aqui para ver a jogabilidade
mais de 3
Hellblade
milhões
2.
de jogadores já vivenciaram a história de Senua e o Hellblade Senua Sacrifice.
E também estou inquieto para ver sobre o Project Mara.
O que vem a seguir para nosso guerreiro Celta, uma experiência que criaremos no Engine 5 para o Xbox Series
Tem
X
muitos jogos para
e
já
PC.
apresentarem hoje.
Estou feliz em revelar hoje que o Senua
falta cerca de
terá
25 minutos para
a
mostrar mais
bela
jogos.
Islândia como locação.
Por aí.
E você pode descobrir mais sobre a nossa locação e sobre a história de nosso cenário em um novo diário de desenvolvimento dos bastidores que você pode assistir logo após o show no canal Ninja Theory no YouTube. Foi muito emocionante ver o impacto que o Hellblade Senua Sacrifice teve em tantos jogadores. Estamos muito agradecidos a todos os fãs que fizeram parte da história de Senua até agora. Estamos muito felizes por vocês estarem fazendo parte dessa jornada daqui em diante.
Ah, isso deve ser aquele jogo do... Yeah. Double Fine.
Quer dizer oi a Peter? Ele está aqui na linha. Oh, Peter está sentado aqui
Olha
o
o
tempo
Jack Black.
todo. Quem escreveu a música?
É
Peter.
mesmo? É eu.
Ah, Peter.
Deve ser
Trabalho
algum jogo
fantástico.
dele.
Adorei a música.
No qual
Obrigada,
deve
vai ser
fazer a
divertido
voz
cantar.
de algum personagem.
Agora é hora de curtir. Vamos curtir então?
Vamos lá ver o que é que eles prepararam para nós.
Probably been a long time since you've had a visitor.
Mesmo. Já há muito tempo que
I
esse jogo
hope you don't
foi.
mind poppins.
Estava à espera de uma sequela.
Where are we?
Shh. It's a quiet place.
Lost alone neither skin nor bone. Just a thought is all I've got. Now my cover's low at the bottom of a lake of frozen feeling. When my friends
Já colega que está lá a voz à música, está espetacular.
Está mesmo, está mesmo.
Now I can feel out the galaxy and hear the flow of time. Been so tense, but now I sense a reason to this rhyme. And I can smell the universe and I can taste the sky.
Tô doido também para ver aquele jogo. Que é de aviões, do Flight Simulator.
Yeah.
Senses are the magic keys. They fill the holes I've had, unlocking all my memories.
O primeiro jogo desse jogo, que eu não me recordo o nome, foi espetacular. Psychonauts, é isso. Psychonauts 2.
Psychonauts.
Olha aí o nosso frigorífico. Desde o lançamento vou ter um...
Queremos que você experimente os incríveis jogos da Xbox Game Studios. E há muito mais para você jogar no Xbox. Estamos em parceria com milhares de criadores, desde os maiores editores até os menores desenvolvedores independentes, para oferecer a maior variedade de jogos de todos os tempos. Há um desenvolvedor que é muito próximo de nós, não apenas geograficamente, mas também na história. Gostaria de anunciar que neste outono nossos amigos da Bungie levarão Destiny 2 para o Xbox Series X e Xbox Game Pass. Se você é um dos mais de 10 milhões de assinantes do Game Pass, também terá acesso a todas as expansões atuais da Destiny 2 a partir de setembro. Para membros do Ultimate Game Pass, Destiny 2 também será possível jogar nos aparelhos móveis a partir da nuvem. No final deste ano, a Bungie também lançará uma nova versão do Destiny 2 otimizada para Xbox Series, resolução de 4K a 60 quadros por segundo. E aqui está uma nova visão do Destiny 2 Beyond Light da Bungie.
I've
seen terrible things born out in the darkness. Every moment brings them closer. It's time to step beyond the light.
Isto é super. Vai o poder da treva. Não posso esperar.
Olha, tem cenas novas.
Agora estava todos os novos inimigos também.
Essa cena de congelar está espetacular.
Está mesmo. Olha o Warlock, o arcano. Está muito bom. Um cajado na mão, a poder, estás a ver, tipo congelar.
Eu quero o Hunter, olha ali.
O Hunter é para mim. O Hunter é para quem não sabe jogar esse jogo. Warlock.
Este é o Destiny 2 que você pode jogar da maneira que quiser, graças ao Xbox Game Pass. Alguns dos desenvolvedores mais inspirados do mundo estão trabalhando e jogos para o Xbox Series X. Estamos honrados de poder trabalhar
Esse
com
jogo
eles.
É feito
Xbox
para...
Series X capacitará
para jogar com os
criadores
3
novos
personagens.
e experientes para darem vida aos jogos como nunca antes. Perspectivas únicas e inovações inesperadas você precisa descobrir.
Bela
Todos
Xbox,
os jogos
tá?
que verão agora estão
Bem
sendo
portanto,
criados para serem
que
lançados
achas?
exclusivamente em consoles Xbox. Obrigada e divirta-se.
Ok, vamos lá,
Estreia
World
mundial.
Premiere. Consola launch exclusivo. Ok. Exclusivo para a consola no lançamento.
Bora ver. Mas que jogo é esse? Estou a gostar dos gráficos.
E estou a gostar daquilo que estou a ver.
Eu também estou.
Isso parece um tempo apocalíptico.
Pois é.
Stalker 2. Ok.
Estreia mundial.
É, Stalker 2.
Há aqui mais um estreia mundial. Será que isso é o score?
My Lord
Era bom.
Inquisitor, I've reached a term of prime.
Não, já deu para ver o score no outro evento. Se querer ver um bocadinho da jogabilidade e do que é que se trata.
A recon squad has been sent into sub-level 6 of the Hive to determine the full extent of the unrest.
É capaz de eles meterem um demo de cada jogo que aparece. A gente jogar, provavelmente.
Isso era bom.
Isso era muito bom.
Parecia que tem o gajo ali de Dark Tide. Ah, ok. Parecia que tem um gajo ali do Mortal Kombat, daquele que tinha os 4 braços. Dark Tide.
Estreia mundial.
Something changed, my heart could not contain the miracle of this world and all that it creates. With every passing day, the winds might grow stronger and carry us away, but we will hold on to joy to light the way.
Milhares de pessoas jogam Xbox. Milhares de pessoas.
It's todas as idades.
De todas as
Ora, o
idades.
Tetris.
Pois, o Tetris. Eu joguei muito. Por acaso. Naqueles telemóveis antigos.
E joguei numa própria consola que só tinha o Tetris.
Que isso por acaso como é que eu vou dizer? É aquela
Estreia
saga, tipo
mundial.
um teclado um teclado, pronto. Um teclado que tinhas uma arma que até matava patos e isso. Não era.
Approaching orbit.
O que
Scans a
vamos ter
no-go.
agora?
Sure you want to drop here?
Bem mundial.
Already lacing up my boots back here. What we got? Another good-for-nothing space rock?
Whoa. Hold on, let me check.
Find anything good?
Vex, you're not gonna
Parece ser um
believe
tipo do No Man's Sky.
Acho que sim. Gráficos animados.
Graficamente dá muito fixe.
Mas é graficamente animado. Tipo, desenhos animados. Cada pessoa vai ter uma opinião diferente sobre esse jogo. Eu acredito que muita gente vai falar mal, vai falar bem, outros...
De Gunk. Isso agora acho que nem sequer devemos comentar. Temos de falar daquilo que estamos a ver e não é daquilo que vamos falar sobre os jogos. Isso é revelante. Tu podes ter um gosto de um jogo que eu não gosto e que tu gostes, eu tenho que respeitar o teu gosto. É só isso. Como pode haver um jogo que eu gosto e que tu não gostes, também tem que ser respeitado. Não,
claro.
Por isso, epá, não.
Claro.
Essas coisas nem sequer se deve fazer caso. Nem comentar sequer. Que isso só nos vai tirar energias e prefiro gastar as minhas energias noutras coisas. Olha, jogar, por exemplo. Em vez de estar a roda de um computador a falar mal disso e daquilo. Eu gosto desse tipo de jogo assim. Se fosse tipo thriller nesse caso, não é thriller. Isso é o... Medium.
É o Medium, yeah.
Epa, estou aqui eu adoro esse jogo, porque é o Alan Wake, eu estou a jogar novamente o Alan Wake. Epá, deu-me saudades, estás a ver? E estou a partilhar a série no canal. Já temos 3 episódios, brevemente já vamos ter o 4º episódio. E esse jogo está espetacular, olha para isso. Por acaso estou com bastante curiosidade sobre esse jogo.
Hello? Anyone there?
Pessoal, para quem não viu a live daqui da Xbox em Portugal sobre o Alan Wake, vão aí aos vídeos, estão aí. Vão lá, vale a pena, está muito bom mesmo. Muito bom mesmo.
Olha para isso,
meu. Vai ter poder.
Depois ela no outro mundo tem um poder. Yeah? Um ou vários.
Nunca ajudei ela. Não é nenhum tipo de jogo. A primeira vez que eu estou a ver esse...
Oh, Medium, The Medium. É para esse jogo.
Estreia mundial.
O que é que vamos ter? Eu ainda espero pelo Fable. Por favor, Microsoft, Xbox Game Studios. Sega!
Outra estreia mundial. Olha. Vamos ver o que é que a SEGA tem para oferecer.
Isso faz-me lembrar o... qual coisa... Star Fantasy. Star Fantasy, será?
Não faço a mínima, mas está
Fantasy
assim.
Star. Agora não me recordo se era Star Fantasy ou Fantasy Star.
Mas está a sair um grande jogo, estou a gostar de ver.
A SEGA tem grandes jogos. É pena eles não investirem nos seus jogos suas franquias. E há franquias antigas muito boas mesmo. Olha, tenho saudades de um Power Stone, por exemplo. Para jogar online com os amigos era pura diversão.
O melhor era entre plataformas. Todas as plataformas.
Não sei se jogaste o Power Rangers, mas o Power Ranger era... Power Rangers não, Power Stone. Power Stone era muito fixe.
Mas isso é um jogo que toca já jogo.
É assim, esse não é, por acaso não é o meu tipo de jogo,
mas parece...
Fantasy Star, olha, bem me parecia. Fantasy Star. Tentava sem saber se era Star Fantasy ou era Fantasy Star. Era Fantasy Star. Ok. O que é que vamos ter agora?
Luis Torres. I've seen your future.
Não há.
Faz um console exclusivo.
Olha, da Remedy.
Opa!
O Crossfire! Alright, isso é a campanha, ok.
Hoje o Crossfire está na Xbox.
É exclusivo da Xbox. Crossfire X é exclusivo da Xbox. Isto aqui é a campanha. Que a Remedy aqui a fazer a campanha do Crossfire X.
Mas já isso era de esperar que vinha a campanha.
Soon the entire world.
Sim, era de esperar porque foi anunciado. Mas agora é que estamos a ver a campanha. Olha por isso, espetáculo. Só pedi de esperar mesmo que fosse bom pela Remedy. Olha aí, vem aí, sai.
Até podes.
Hoje você
Minha
viu
nossa,
10
podes voar,
estreias
podes fazer tudo e
mundiais
mais
e
alguma coisa.
22 lançamentos exclusivos de console. Os membros do Game Pass poderão jogar todos os jogos que viram hoje do Xbox Game Studios e de todos os nossos parceiros pela assinatura ou no Free to Play.
Okay.
Isso é apenas um vislumbre de todos os novos títulos da Xbox Series X. E alguns dos jogos que você já ama e outros que ainda não jogaram também serão otimizados para o Xbox Series X.
Certo.
Você receberá as últimas atualizações de jogos como
Fable.
Forza Horizon 4, Gear 5 e Sea of Thieves sem custo adicional quando forem lançadas. Podem esperar mais de 100 títulos para o Xbox Series X no final do ano.
O Fable
o Series X e o Game Pass, o Xbox é o lugar para jogar. E você está no centro de tudo que
acho
fazemos.
que até tem os outros lá.
Agora,
mas joga primeiro
você deve ter notado que não visitamos todos os nossos Xbox
vamos ver
Game
console.
Studios hoje. O que significa que teremos mais para compartilhar ainda este ano. Mas até lá...
Tu achar muito estranho, eles não estão a...
Pera. Estreia mundial, World Premiere. O que é que vem aí? Tem uma esperançazinha. Ok, isso é o jogo da Playground. O que é que será que eles vão te trazer? Será que é o Fable? Só pode ser. E o Fable, man! Yes! Oi, o cameo. Hã? Não, Fable. É Fable. É Fable.
of fantastical creatures and wondrous places where nature and magic live in perfect harmony. Not all stories have happy endings. But yours has yet to be.
Fable! Yes! É isso mesmo.
Cada parte do sapo é como
yeah. Ei, mas só.
Fable, Game Pass! E vai estar no Game Pass.
Bem bom, olha, mostraram só um bocadinho, um teaser, mas já fico contente com o teaser, sabendo que estão realmente a produzir o Fable.
Exatamente.
Só a cena do sapo é muito partido.
Queria saber o preço da consola,
e só vamos saber para o mês que vem.
Hoje é que está o problema.
Não é problema, não, também a Microsoft está. Se mostrar tudo agora, depois para os outros meses tu não tens nada.
Exatamente. E diz-me uma coisa, as tuas especulações sobre o preço. Quanto é que achas?
Epá, mais que 500 euros não acredito.
Também não acredito. 400.
Não, mesmo 500 euros, 499.
Pois é.
Só que temos de ser realistas, a consola vale muito mais que 500 euros.
Pois vale.
É claro que nós todos queremos que seja 500 euros no máximo, não é? Porque é bom para a nossa algebeira, para a nossa carteira, mas a consola. Mas olha, 22 jogos. Então quer dizer que a minha fonte que disse que íamos ter à volta de 20 jogos não me enganou. Vamos ter 22. Thanks for watching. Da nossa parte também muito obrigado de ter vocês todos aí deste lado. O que é que eu achei do evento? Gostei? Gostei, por acaso gostei. O que eu estava à espera era do Fable e foi mostrado, por isso estou muito contente. E tu da tua parte, em Dark? Jogos?
Gostei do evento, gostei mesmo imenso do evento. A única coisa que eu queria mesmo que o evento dissesse era o preço da Xbox, era mesmo isso que eu queria, mas de resto está tudo excelente. Tudo excelente. Eu acho que podemos jogar os jogos todos na consola, deve ter lá os demos, de certeza. É caso de ir lá, a gente ir lá ver e pronto, é isso. O que é que eu tenho a dizer? Obrigado pelo convite ao canal Xbox em Portugal. Estamos aqui, pessoal que não é inscrito no canal Xbox Team Portugal e o canal Dark PT, vão lá, subscrevem e é isso. Bem, é isso que eu tenho a dizer.
Pronto, então acho que termina assim o nosso stream. Só tenho a agradecer a todos por terem estado aqui connosco. E
é isso.
É isso. Vamos tentar, já agora amanhã vou estar com o Sega Cenas a falar também sobre o evento, do que é que foi mostrado e qual eram as nossas expectativas e se realmente o que é que achamos da apresentação. Eu, para já, adorei. Não estou desiludido, porque já sabia que a Microsoft não ia mostrar tudo, porque foi como eu disse há bocado, não é para estar a mostrar tudo agora e depois não ter nada para mostrar de...
Claro que sim.
Não achas, Dark?
Claro que sim, acho justo. Não mostrem tudo para depois Eu acho que eles querem revelar depois o preço, quando sair os preços das consolas, eles vão revelar tudo. E é isso, pessoal. Até à próxima. E é isso.
Não se esqueçam de subscrever então aqui o Xbox Team Portugal. Venham também ao canal do Dark PT. Ele também tem algum conteúdo interessante. E para não se esquecer, brevemente vamos ter o quarto episódio do Alan Wake. Deixem nos comentários qual é o próximo jogo que querem que eu traga para o canal. E prontos. É isso. Grande abraço e fui!